Hey folks, and welcome to Greg's Golf Shack. I've got a tip for you today for those of us who let our dominant side really take over in the golf swing. Ends up really causing an outside in swing or over the top as we know it, and it can really rob us of speed in our golf swing, because when our dominant side takes over, we end up throwing that shoulder over. Our body kind of moves with our upper body. There's no separation, and it's very easy for us to end up on our back foot. This is something I struggle with, and I've got something for you that can help fix it. Now folks, if you like my tips, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. I'm a certified member with the Canadian Golf Teachers Federation. I really enjoy sharing this content with you. So there's one very common tip that is used to help us with that over the top and help avoid our dominant side really taking over. And that's often to keep your back to the target as long as you can. So you make a backswing, you turn your back to the target, and you kind of try to hold it there as long as you can as you swing through. And hopefully that'll help release your lower body a little bit, and maybe let the club head get down to the ball a little bit before your trail shoulder turns over. Now that is a really great tip. It works for me, but one of the problems with it is very often we slow down that lead arm, and it can cause us to get really tight in our swing, and still, even though our back's to the target, we can still pull inward and come over the top, usually causing a pull. And what we want to do is really unleash with our lead arm. We don't want to feel like it's slowing down or pulling in towards our body. We want to unleash it towards the target and just let that fly and gain a lot of speed. If we can use our lead side properly, we're going to gain a lot of swing speed. And it can help initiate some of that lower body release that we'd like. Now, generally, if we really want to increase swing speed, we'll see a lot of tips that we got to get those hips firing and everything. And that is true, but it can be difficult for a lot of us, especially if we struggled with that over the top swing. As soon as we start focusing on our hips, it's very easy for us to just kind of do this. It can be tough to get that nice release with that lead side, that little squat, if our dominant side is really trying to kind of keep us on our back foot. And you can see we just sort of swing away from the target if we're focusing on our hips. So we want something to trigger those hips, and using our lead arm properly can help put us in that nice sort of stacked position to get the hip out of the way and release our swing. So what I like to do is imagine the feeling of pulling a band. We've often heard when you're at the top, this pulling of the rope or pulling of the chain to try and bring your trail arm down. Well, this is a little bit different. I'm thinking horizontally of those bands you use to work out and feeling like we're pulling that band across our body towards the target. And we want to kind of feel that. Imagine that resistance. Now, if we're not loading into that lead side, the weight of that band is just going to pull our body back. So we want to be able to pull that band into our lead side and kind of pull it like this. We want to feel like we're really pulling some resistance there in a way. And as a result, when we try to pull that weight across us, our hips are going to kind of get out of the way as we're trying to balance. So we want to pull that across. Now, the best way to look at this is actually with bands. So let's go down and have a look at it in the gym. Okay, we're down here in the gym. I've got a resistance band here to help us get that feeling. And just notice, if I've got this resistant band here, imagine we're in a golf swing and I let my dominant side take over. I mean, look what happens. The arm falls behind and it gets pulled in towards my body. That's what causes us to cut across the ball. And if I really don't let that arm go, my balance gets shifted. The weight, the resistance of the club, the speed of it coming down will pull my body back. I'm wanting to pull my weight back. We don't want that either. We want to have that power of this lead side unleashing. So you want to feel like you're pulling through the shot. You're pulling, almost like you're pulling that club through water and unleashing it through impact. Now notice, if I'm pulling this, I don't want to just stay static. It's very hard to kind of maintain my balance and get that arm going. But if I release that hip and kind of stack into that lead side as I'm pulling, wow, I can really pull that nicely. Now, this isn't exactly what the golf swing will look like, but you can get that feeling of what that can do and the amount of power you can unleash into the swing. So imagine that with a band. Even imagine it if you don't have a band, like you're pulling down and through the swing. All right, if you have some workout bands, you can even try that. It actually works better if you can use that band and feel that resistance, feel that loading into the lead side through impact, and just get that balance. Feel your weight kind of getting in there instead of falling back like this. So let's see if it can translate to the golf swing, trying to really release that lead side, let the speed flow, and see if we can avoid our trail side taking over, and see if it also helps our lower body release through that impact zone. That felt good. That was solid, and it felt fast. Give that tip a try. Unleash your lead side and see if you can lower your scores and hit the ball better. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Greg's Golf Shack.